We're here and we're socially distancing for this interview. I'm going to remove my mask at this time. Welcome to the latest episode of FiftyForward Exchange, a video series produced by Nashville nonprofit FiftyForward. The goal of FiftyForward Exchange is to discuss ideas or topics that are important to the older adult community. Thank you for joining us. I'm Melvin, Fowler, Center Director of FiftyForward Bordeaux. We are so happy to have Caroline Pullen with us today. Caroline is the Senior Manager, Nutrition and Innovation at Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee. Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today.
So my first question is, how can we ensure nutrition is not a sacrifice but a way of life?
Yeah, well, I love that we're starting with that question because I feel like that is the key to success, right? Is you have to make changes that you're comfortable with and that you feel like you can stick with long term. So my first piece of advice is that all foods fit. So there are no foods that you can't have. I think if
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if you tell yourself you can never eat fried food again or donuts again, then you just set yourself up for failure because they're going to think about it all the time. Of course, we do have to limit how often we eat those foods and our portion sizes when we eat those foods, but I think telling yourself you can never eat them, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Then, I strongly recommend that you keep it fun and interesting. I think lots of times people think about healthy eating as like a plain piece of chicken or fish with some steamed broccoli.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's bland and boring. So instead, we really recommend having fun with it. Try new recipes. I hated broccoli and Brussels sprouts growing up, but now I roast them with some balsamic, and I think they are delicious. So try new things, have fun with it. And then lastly, it's just keep it easy. There are some crazy diets out there, as I'm sure you know.
Yes.
You don't have to do the crazy wild stuff. Keep it, to the basics. So what I typically tell people is eat your fruits and vegetables, right? We want to eat, 5 a day. Eat protein at every meal, ideally a lean protein. Watch your portion sizes, drink your water, and move, right? Those are kind of the basics. And if we can stick to those, you can really have a lot of success.
Awesome. That is some great information. Second question, what can we substitute in traditional recipes to make food healthier?
Yeah, so I want to start by saying that if there is a traditional recipe that you always make or y'all always do on Christmas Day, eat it, enjoy it. Nobody wants to eat mashed cauliflower for Christmas Day. But I would say, there are simple switches we can make throughout the year that are pretty easy to live with. So, you want to pick whole grains when possible. So, do the whole wheat pasta or brown rice over the white rice or white pasta. When it comes to baking, it's important to remember that baking is a science. So when we make adjustments, sometimes you have to play around with it and trial and error. But a lot of people use canned applesauce or canned pumpkin as a replacement for sugar or fat in a recipe, and they can turn out really well. The canned applesauce is really good in muffins and breads, and the pumpkin is actually pretty good in chocolatey stuff. And then you always want to increase vegetables, so anytime you can add a vegetable, that's great. And then sour cream is actually one of my favorite things to replace.
Mine's too.
You can use Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. Don't make the mistake of buying vanilla. My husband did that one time. And that cannot replace sour cream. They taste very different. But plain Greek yogurt in a soup or on tacos, you really can't taste a big difference. Ground beef is another good one you can replace. So ground turkey, if it's something really flavorful, again like a chili or a taco, you can't taste the difference. And it's a lot leaner and a lot less saturated fat than the ground beef.
Awesome. So question number 3, how can we prepare for a big gathering and not get drawn into unhealthy food choices?
Yes, so I think what a lot of people do is they make this mistake of not eating all day.
That's me.
Going up to this big party because they want to save their calories. But instead what happens is you go to that party and you're starving and you just eat anything and everything in sight. So instead what you really should do is you want to eat normal meals going up to the day. Try to eat a little healthier, but making sure you're not really hungry going into the party. Maybe even eat a little healthy snack before you go. And then when you're at the party, make sure you actually make a plate of food, because if you just graze, that's where we get in trouble. If we make a plate, we realize that we actually ate. You can really see what portion sizes you ate and really control it. And then also make sure you stay at least arm lengths away from any food. So don't sit next to the bowl of peanuts or the bowl of nuts.
Or the shrimp.
Yes, because you'll get, you're talking to a friend or family member, and then before you know it, you ate the entire bowl. So really avoiding that mindless eating is really important. And then make a plan. So when you get there, look around, see what foods look really good to you. If there is something high calorie that you want, that's okay. Just watch your portion of it, and then make healthy decisions with the rest of the meal so you can make room for it.
Awesome. That is some very good advice. Next question. Will you offer some suggested safe practices to keep healthy when gathering during these challenging times?
Sure. So the CDC recommends, of course, that everyone be vaccinated. That's the best way for us to protect ourselves. I think the second most important thing is just to have open and honest communication with everybody that's going to be attending. So knowing if you have any, people there that are immunocompromised, or maybe if there's going to be young children that are too young to get vaccinated, you might need to make some special precautions for them. Also letting people know if they don't feel well that maybe they need to skip this year, because we don't want to spread any diseases. And then of course just the practices that we've all been doing for the past almost 2 years now, right? Wash your hands really well. Wash when you come in, wash before you eat, wash them. It's really the best way to protect yourself. And then of course don't forget about food safety. That's still really important. About 48 million Americans every year get sick from some kind of foodborne illness, and 3,000 people every year typically die of it too. So make sure you practice good food safety. So cooking food to the right temperature, storing it correctly. And then I know my family does the big buffet meals, and we're really bad about leaving that casserole dish out for way too long. So if it's been out for 2 hours, it has to be trashed. So get it in the refrigerator in time so you don't waste food.
Awesome. That's some good suggestions about safe practices. Final question. Where can folks find resources to ensure food security all year long?
Yeah, so as we said in the beginning, I work for Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee.
Great program.
Yes, thank you. So we have several programs and feeding sites and partner agencies that we work with through our 46 county area. So one I think you might be particularly interested in is our Commodity Supplemental Food Program. We call it CSFP. That program is for Davidson County residents only. You have to be 60 or older, and you do have to meet certain income requirements. But if you qualify, then you can get a box of food monthly from us, and we have 4 different distribution sites through Nashville where you can pick them up. So you can actually go to one of those even today and get your name on it. And receive a box that day, or if you have any questions, you can call us too. We also have a SNAP program, so we have some staff members that can actually screen people for SNAP, which is formerly known as food stamps. We can help them fill out the application, submit it for them. I know lots of times people have been reluctant to do that because they only were getting about $16 a month, which is definitely a bummer. But now with different federal guidelines, the SNAP minimum has been raised, so people are getting more money. And also, if you have a lot of medical costs, you can actually deduct your medical cost from your total income, and you can get more SNAP dollars. So if you think you might qualify, then it is really great to sign up for that, and you can reach out to one of our SNAP outreach coordinators. You can find all this on our website, secondharvestmidtn.org. You can find all of our locations. And then, of course, we have several sites that do hot meals or where you can get groceries. We have 450 partner agencies.
Wow.
Yeah, so the easiest way to figure it out is actually to either go online to that website, or you can actually text feeds to 797979, put in your zip code, and it will let you know where your closest site is. We really want to encourage people to come. Our belief is that we really want a community where no one is hungry. We know that in America there is enough food, so please reach out if you need help, and we are happy to provide assistance.
Thank you for joining us, Caroline. We're so glad you joined us for this episode of 50Forward Exchange. Maybe there's an idea or two here you can exchange into action. We look forward to seeing you again soon.